Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we're covering maintenance plans in WEX FSM. This webinar will cover setting up your maintenance plan templates, how to sign your customers up for a maintenance plan with a couple different scenarios, how to schedule maintenance plan visits so your techs can go out and actually do the service, how to keep track of your maintenance plan visits, and some maintenance plan reporting to manage your plans in bulk, including renewals. We'll do a live Q&A at the end so you can get your questions answered live on stream. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. The first place that we're going to go to, especially if you are new in the system, you need to set up your maintenance plans. You will go to More Applications, Maintenance Plans to start right here. That will bring you to the maintenance plans admin page, and this is where you will set up all of your templates. So you want to think about what plans do you offer, and you will want to set up those plans here. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this, which we will get into when we're adding the new plan. To add a new maintenance plan template, you will click New Maintenance Plan. And now really you just fill out the information per the plan you want to set up. You'll fill out all this info here and hit Save Maintenance Plan. Now I already have one mocked up that we're going to use as an example. And we will use the Comfort Club plan. So I'm just going to click on that plan. Also, welcome, Max. I see you have joined. We're actually just getting started here, so you have not missed much, but we are recording today's session, so you will be able to watch a replay of this later. Welcome. So for this plan, I have it set up. This is called thanks, Max. This is called the Comfort Club plan. I have a plan description. This is going to be customer facing. So when you're selling this plan on an invoice, if I turn my device around, let's say, and I show the customer what they are being charged for, they can read the plan description. So usually here, it's good to put things like what you're actually doing, what the plan includes, the actions that you're taking. The color code, so in your system, when a customer becomes a maintenance plan customer, they will have a star next to their name, so you always know who's on a maintenance plan. And you can even color code each of your plans by clicking in the field here, select the color you want, and then that is the color the star will be when you're viewing the customer page, or you just see that customer in your system. Contract length. This is actually pretty important. So the contract length, what this is saying is what is the contract your customer is entering into for the maintenance plan contract? And we have a couple options here. 1 year means that they will be under contract for 1 year. And after a year, that plan will then be marked as expired in your system. You will see that on the maintenance plans customers page, which we will look at in a bit for tracking renewals. But that is for 1 year. And then we have different sets of years, so for example, if I set this to 5 years, that will set up the next 5 years of service windows. So the jobs are already pre-made. And then when you're scheduling, you will use those jobs and you'll have 5 years worth of jobs that are already preset. So it will not need a renewal, let's say, for 5 years because they'll be under contract for those 5 years and they will already have the jobs set up for when you go to do the service. Jeff has asked a question. Is there a print option for my customers that don't have email or when putting together commercial bids? Do you mean, is there a way to print the maintenance plan contract? Is that what you're asking for, Jeff? Yes. Yes, there is. There's a way to view it as a PDF. Let's look at that Jeff, in the Q&A. That way we don't pull away from this, but I'm going to make a put a little emoji on here. So we'll come back to this. But yes, I believe that there is a way. I haven't looked at that in a little bit, so we'll do it from the job page, I believe. All right. So just finishing up on this, you select 5 years, for example, it will create the next 5 years of service window jobs. And then when you are scheduling, you'll just continue to go down the line of those pre-existing jobs. And after the 5 years, then that contract will be expired in the system and they will need a renewal. Until canceled, this is best paired with recurring payment plans. And so if I set a customer up for until canceled, I'm selling the plan for the annual price I choose until canceled. That will set up the next 20 years of service window visits, and it will create a job for each year for the next 20 years. So essentially, it's until canceled, but it does have a cap at 20 years. If you're doing, let's say, 2 visits a year, you will have 40 jobs that are set up for that customer, all marked by year. And as you are scheduling, or sorry, when you set this up, this is best paired with the recurring payment option. You would grab the customer's payment information that will store securely in their account, and it will just be on an auto charge. So that will automatically renew based on the recurrence that you set. There's monthly, there's quarterly, and annually, and it will just automatically charge the customer. Then, when you go out to do the service visits, you will already have the jobs created. We will look at that. We're going to do an example of what that looks like so you can actually see that in context. But if you're doing recurring payment plans, until canceled is the option that you want to choose. That way you don't actually have to go in and renew. Max says logging off, be back quickly. All right, Max, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, for this plan, this is a 1-year plan. Annual price. So this is also kind of up to you and how you want to use this. So by default, the annual price is just how much the customer is going to pay for this plan per year. However, you maybe you want to set this up as a $0 price point and update the pricing in the moment. So let's give you a couple scenarios. Maybe for your maintenance plan program, you are charging up front. So the customer says, yes, let's get on that maintenance plan. You will charge them for the plan. So let's say they pay $100 and then they are good for a year. And you would then charge them again the next year, another $100. But that payment is made up front. And when you go out and do the service, you are not charging them per service. And this is great because the technicians don't have to do any math in the field, but you will probably need to create multiple variations of the same plan based on different pieces of equipment. And just to give you a visual of this, let's go back to the maintenance plan list. If you're going to include the price that you're charging your customers, what if they have 2 systems? You would need to charge more. What if they have 3 systems? So there's different types of systems that are out there, and you may have different pricing depending on how many pieces of equipment there are. For that, I would recommend making a plan for each amount of systems. So right here, as an example, I have a 1-system residential comfort club, a 2-system, a 3-system. And the benefit of this is that the pricing is set. So for your technician, from a tech's point of view, they look at how many systems they are. Then when they want to charge, they just pick the plan for the amount of systems and go. And they can just take that payment. No math needed for the tech in the field. But maybe for your customers that you service, they have a lot, like there's, essentially an unlimited amount of different types of equipment that could be there. And you don't want to make, 50 different variations of the same plan. In that scenario, I would recommend setting the annual price to $0. And what that means is when the technician is in the field, they'll add this maintenance plan, look at the equipment that's there, reference a pricing sheet, perhaps. You could even put the pricing here in the description so the tech can see what the prices are, and they would determine the price in the moment. That gives more customization, but your techs will need to do some math in the field and know what the pricing is to be able to fill in the annual price. So those are kind of two of the main options, two main ways that I am seeing this being used. For today's example, we'll go ahead and keep this at $100 for the Comfort Club plan. If you are syncing to QuickBooks, you will choose what income account you want this to be sent to. And all this is saying is when I add this plan to an invoice and the customer pays for that invoice may include the maintenance plan and a couple other things, a filter, a labor charge. Maybe you did a repair for them and you're charging them for the repair, but then you're also charging them for the maintenance plan on the same invoice. Choosing an income account here will allow the revenue from this plan to go to the income account you select. That way you still have great control of your data in QuickBooks as well. Because we all know CPAs, when they come in to look at your books, they may not know what WEX FSM is, but they know what QuickBooks is, and they need a way to pull reports from QuickBooks. So that's why it's important to choose the correct income account. Down below here, do you want to charge tax for this? Yes or no? And terms and agreements. So this is the legal stuff. If the customer doesn't pay you, what happens? If the customer is not home when you get there, are you able to enter, or how do reschedules work? Whatever you want to put in here, if you already have terms that you use for your maintenance plan program, you can copy and paste those into here. This will show on the invoice when you're showing it to the customer. If you have, let's say you have a really nicely designed PDF that even talks about your maintenance plan program, you can add that as a PDF here. And then when you send this out, the customer will receive the invoice that has the maintenance plan details from here and the attached PDF, which maybe just kind of is an overview of your terms for your maintenance plan program. Service windows, this is the window of time that you're going to schedule the visit. So, for my HVAC people out there, maybe you are doing 2 visits a year. You set the beginning month and the end month. And this scenario that we have is we're going to come out in the spring and do your AC cleaning. We're going to come out in the fall and do your heat cleaning. But this can be as personalized as you want it to. Maybe you are working with a commercial customer where you have to go and exchange their filters once a month. You can add as many service windows as you want, and you could even do like a January to January, February to February, and you are having a visit. And maybe this is just visit, 1, visit 2, etc. What's going to happen here is when you add this maintenance plan to a customer, it will auto-populate these as jobs. So you will already have your job folder ready for when it's time to schedule. And when it's time to schedule, you're going to want to use these jobs. You don't want to create a new job because then that will be completely separate from the maintenance plan. You want your maintenance plan visits to be attached to the maintenance plan, and the jobs will already be pre-created. Now, when we run through selling a maintenance plan together, you're going to see this in action. But I just want to kind of bring up that as how that works. Service window job type. This is the job type that this will be registered as for reporting. Now, a maintenance job type does not come as part of your job types, like the default job types that come with the system when you sign up. I do recommend going in and adding a maintenance job type. That way, any maintenance job that you do, you can tag it as a maintenance. And when you go to your reports, you'll easily be able to pull up your maintenance jobs. Some people do choose, let's say, service, and that's fine too. It's up to you, however you want to pull your maintenance jobs in your reports. Adding a maintenance job type is helpful. To do this, if you do want to do this, you will go to Settings, Jobs, Job Types. For my veterans in here, you probably already have this, but for those of you who are new, this is a good place to go. This is going to allow you to tag every job that you do. Maybe you only do, a limited amount of jobs, but you do a ton of them. That's fine. You just could probably use what's already here. But if you have a lot of different specific type of jobs that you do, you'll want to add new job type, enter the name. You can update the color. Actually, when you're looking at the schedule, the colors of all the appointments that you see relate to what type of job it is. And this is how you control those colors from here. Once you save that, that will be a selectable job type. And I've added a maintenance job type here. So when we are choosing our job type here, I was able to pull it up. We've got maintenance. And last but not least, we have appointment duration default. When you are scheduling, if you're scheduling a ton of maintenance visits and you have to go in and change the duration every single time, that could get annoying. So you can set the default duration here. Maybe for a one system plan, it's an hour, but a two system plan is 2 hours. And so whatever you want the default to be when scheduling the maintenance visit, that's what you would set for here. When you're done, you will click Save Maintenance Plan. That will bring you back to your maintenance plan list. And then you will follow that same process to add as many plans as you want. So I know some of my customers, they have one plan to rule them all. And it's just like the Comfort Club plan. Everyone is signing up for that. One plan, one main default price, and updated per customer as needed. Maybe you are building out multiple instances of each plan, one system, two system, three system, to make it easy for your techs to choose. And maybe you have something like a commercial plan where it's one plan, but it has multiple visits. This one has 4. Maybe you're doing a visit a month and it has 12 service visits. But those are some examples, and that is setting up your admin side. That way, when you're ready to add this, it's already ready to go for your technicians. The next admin setting that I would recommend looking at and knowing and understanding is your pricing defaults. So to do this, we're going to go to More Applications, Price Book, Pricing Defaults right here. The pricing defaults page, just overall in general, this is the pricing that your jobs will take on, and the items from your price book will also take on these different pricing strategies. Standard price is, let's say the customer is not a maintenance plan customer, it will be the standard price by default, which would include a parts markup multiplier, and that's just the standard pricing for all items in your price book. They become a maintenance plan customer in your system. Now, any job you create for them, it will automatically add the maintenance plan pricing strategy, which means typically, if you're running a maintenance plan program, an incentive that you can have for your customers is to offer discounts on future services, even if it's not related to a maintenance visit. You got to go out there in the middle of the year for something. They are a Comfort Club plan member. You get 10% off this service today for your loyalty as a customer. That is just a great way to push your programs, get people to sign up if they know they're getting a discount every time and it's something special for them. And WEX FSM will auto apply those discounts. So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about a technician forgetting to add the discount. It's just auto applied. Now, the way that you will control this is in the price book. So yes, it will auto apply to the job if they're a maintenance plan customer, but when you are building your price book, so we're gonna just to show you an example, if I go to more applications, price book, my price book, every item in your price book, which we're gonna click the down arrow here, and let's just go into a general part and open that up. Every product in your price book, you have these toggles for pricing strategies. If you know that this is an item you do not want to add a maintenance plan to or a maintenance plan pricing to, turn that off. That way, let's say that I am going to give a discount for my parts, but I'm not giving a discount for labor. Turn that off for your labor items and hit save. Then, when you are adding items in the moment, it will apply to the items that have this turned on, but it won't apply to the items where this is turned off. This is where you control that. That way, the auto apply does not get in the way and does not make a wrong discount on a wrong part, or sorry, on a wrong product. So, example of how to manage that there. And that is maintenance plan pricing or maintenance plan pricing strategy. Oh, I see a question from Josh. Josh asks, is there a way to have the discounts show on invoices? Example, our maintenance plan customers don't see what they get a discount, but we would like to have that visible. Absolutely, Josh. And actually, I'm going to show you how to show the discount and how to hide the discount if you want to, which we'll get to that in just a second when we run through a job, which, let me check my notes, I believe is next. And yes, it is. Cool. So stay tuned, Josh. So we've got our setup. We've got our admin. We've set up all of our plans. We've got our pricing. We've got our contract links, and we're ready. We got our pricing defaults set up, and we are ready to officially sell a maintenance plan to a customer. Now, the system is versatile, but there's some basic ways that you can do this. There's some more advanced ways to do this, and we're going to run through a couple scenarios. The first scenario would be a pre-existing appointment. It's not a maintenance plan call. It's, let's say, a service call. And we're going to go out, we're going to do the job that we came to do, but then we're going to add this customer to our maintenance plan program as sort of an add-on, as a recommendation that they approve. To do this, let's go to the schedule page. And I have an appointment here for my customer, Justin Hernandez. And it's just a service call. I even wrote in the notes, potential maintenance plan customer, try to sell a plan today. And I'm the technician, and I'm going to go out and sell this customer a maintenance plan. Viewing this from the office, we're going to go to the job. So I'm just hovering over the appointment and clicking on the service call job. And then scroll to the bottom. We need to, and this is a rule, something to know. Anytime you want to charge the customer for something, it needs to be done on an invoice. And so we just did our service call. I'm going to sell the maintenance plan to the customer. We're going to make an invoice and add the maintenance plan. So click the drop down here. We're going to click new. If you have a maintenance plan invoice that you already know has the same stuff you need, you can use the copy feature, and that'll be less input in the moment. But for today's example, we're doing it from scratch. So I just clicked new. Now we're on an invoice. To stay true to our scenario, let's charge them for something other than the maintenance plan for the thing that we went today. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to put just a general service on here. And so let's say a general labor, add that item, and we'll just name this service call. Let's say service call was $100. and update. So this is what we're charging them today for the service that we are doing. But I want to get them on our maintenance plan program. To do this, we will click recommend a maintenance plan. Choose the plan that you want. So let's use our Comfort Club plan that we set up. And then we will add, oh, so this is really just, is this the right plan that you want? Yes or no? Hit save. And then this will first show as a recommendation. Hey, customer, we went ahead and did your service call today. That's going to be 107.25. I did notice that your system could use some maintenance, and here's our maintenance program. Here's why. Let's get you to sign up. Customer agrees. Sign up now. We're going to click. Now we are going through the contract. So from here, is this the location that this contract will service? Is this the right plan? You do have a space for an agreement number if that's something that you need to add. And everything else should be set. You can update the price here. Maybe they have another piece of equipment you weren't expecting. You need to update this. This is where you would set what their contract price is going to be. You can update the plan start date. Hey, I'm on vacation, but I would like to sign up. Can we start this when I come back? Sure. You can predate or backdate from here. Here is the contract details. You can get a signature from the customer here if you want. It is not required. And hit next. And these are the service windows. So this is where we're really dialing in what this is for this customer. Maybe, you don't want to go out between January and June. Update that. Maybe you want to give them a free service visit so you can add a new one. It's whatever you want. Do make sure that you set the first service window. So right now we're in January. The first visit we're going to do for this contract is in January, so you want to set that. But let's say that the first one we're going to do is in July. You would set it to July to December. And all that's going to do is when you're scheduling, it's just going to show like this is the first visit, and then these are the other visits after. Hit next. This is just, is this the contact information we need for when we're going to schedule? So the way the service window works is you have your service window of time, but there's no exact date time technician yet. So here, this will be who we will reach out to. Sometimes it's good to just confirm with the customer. That way, when you send an appointment reminder, it goes to the right place. Next, and then payment. So there's different payment options that you can have here. On invoice is going to add this to this invoice, and when they pay this invoice, it's going to just automatically pay for the plan. Payment plan is if you want to set up a recurring payment plan. So let's say this customer says, yes, let's do a payment plan. We would say, this plan is $100 a year. They can pay monthly, quarterly, or annually. That's up to you and your customer, what's best for them. Let's say that they'll pay this annually. And then the first payment date will be the 17th. Now, here's the thing. If you know you're going to do a payment plan, I would recommend setting up the contract as until canceled. And then that way, the payment plan will just continue and you will have the next 20 years of jobs set up. And then the last payment date will be sometime 20 years from now. Down below, I also recommend if you are going to do the payment plan, you'll want to have auto generate invoices turned on. What that means is when that recurring payment goes through, it'll just auto populate an invoice, mark it as paid, and that will act as a receipt. And every time that payment goes through, do you want the customer to receive a receipt? That's personal preference. Some of my customers are like, I'm not trying to remind them to cancel. Other customers, they are like, let's make sure they know from our end that they've made a payment with us and send out that receipt. Set up your tax group. enter the payment information, which will store securely on their account. You can enter card information, or if you have check processing, you can do ACH payment using either their bank account or the bank account info from the check. And stored account, now this is a fake account, so we can't store like real customer payment information on here, but if you have a customer who already has a stored payment method, this is where you would access that. It's currently grayed out for this customer. So that is the payment plan. But today we want to charge them on the invoice and hit done. So there we go. Comfort Club plan is now on here. When we are showing this to the customer, I want to see, here it is. Wait. Sorry, I know I'm talking to myself. This is for Josh. I'm seeing what this PDF looks like. Give me 1 second here. I want to make sure I confirm this. That is not correct. Let's go back. So what I'm looking for is sending the customer a PDF. Let's say the customer doesn't have an email and you want to show them the maintenance plan. I think it has to be done from the job. So we'll look at that again after. Okay. Wait, am I on the right page? Save changes? No. Okay. Now you can, and actually, so Josh, will this work for you? So let me show you. We've added the Comfort Club plan onto the invoice. Each invoice in your system, you have a PDF version of it. So I'm just going to hit send here. And view PDF. This is what allows you to print. So this is showing, your logo. This is nice and professional. This is a PDF version. And this is something where the customer can see, here's the plan, here's the description, here's what we're offering, the contract terms are included. The PDF that you attached to the plan template would also show up here. And you hit print right here. And you can print this and send it to your customer. Is this what you were looking for, Josh? A way to print and send the maintenance plan. So maybe Josh will circle back to that. Let's continue. And we might go over that again in the Q&A. For anyone else who was wondering, so any invoice that you have, you can, when you're sending it, click send. View PDF is right here. There's a couple places you can view PDF from the job as well. When you view the PDF, that's where you get the print option. And then you would just print using whatever printer you have. Okay, we've got our maintenance plan added and we are ready to sell this to the customer. So we will take payment. Now you can take payment out in the field, or you can take payment from the office. Pay now will process through WEX FSM. And Jeff says, I think that was for me. Oh, okay. Whoops. Your names both start with a J. That's my bad. Sorry, Jeff. Okay. I'll look at that and see if the boss is good with that. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. That's my bad. I saw the little thumbs up. I thought that was my emoji from earlier. Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Pay now will process through WEX FSM. Record payment is if you are taking payment outside of WEX FSM, like taking a cash payment, still got to take that money to the bank. And then you can send this to the customer. When you send it to them, they will see that PDF that we just looked at and be able to make a payment from there. And you just send it to the customer. For today's example, let's do record payment. This is saying they did not sign it. You can bypass that by hitting yes. Here's the invoice that we're paying for. And then down below here, this the system already knows this is going towards the maintenance plan. So this is already saying, hey, we're applying this towards that maintenance plan. And then how are they paying? Let's say they paid with a check today and record payment. So this is going to do a couple things. Now that we've got the maintenance plan attached, they've paid for their invoice. First thing you'll notice right here in the top left, there's a star so that they are officially a maintenance plan customer in the system. And if we go to their customer page, so I'm just going to go back to Justin Hernandez's customer page. If we go to the maintenance plans tab, we can see now he's part of the Comfort Club plan. And here are the jobs that we're going to use when we go out and actually do the visits. And so there is a way from the mobile app. Let's say that he completed the first visit. There's a way on the mobile app you click. This was for a maintenance plan visit today. You select that, and then it will mark this first job as complete. If you're going to go out and do this visit a different day, now you would actually use this to schedule. So when you go out to do your maintenance visit in the spring for the AC cleaning, make sure you select this job. That way it keeps everything nice and organized. And when you come here, you'll be able to see that that was complete. So just to give you an example, I'm going to actually do that really quick. We're going to create the service visit from here. Let's say we're even talking to Justin and saying, hey, when do you want us to come out for this? Schedule it now. Let's say we're going to do it, Monday with me and schedule. So that's scheduled. It's Monday. I would go out. I see that I have a maintenance AC cleaning to go do. And then when I complete this, I will mark it as complete and save. I do not need to charge the customer because we charge them up front. And we can see the balance is 0 from here because they paid that invoice. And now this has been, oh, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, I did the wrong one. I did the wrong one. I set, so I'm just making this completed. In practice, the technician would go out, they would do the appointment, they would mark it as complete, let's say from the mobile app. And that's kind of what I'm recreating here. Once that is complete, now we can see for the Comfort Club plan, this AC cleaning is complete and we owe them one more visit. When scheduling with this customer, it will remind you in the maintenance plans tab, hey, you have a service visit that you still need to schedule. But it won't prompt you prior to the service window. It will just let you know, hey, you're within the service window for this plan. So that is one scenario. That is, we had an appointment that was unrelated to a maintenance plan and we sold the maintenance plan, charged them via the invoice, and now they are a maintenance plan customer. And this scenario, we just scheduled the visit from the customer page. So it's one way that you can do this. If you are, well, actually, hold on, let me look at my notes. Okay, yes. Another option that you could do, let's say that you do not have an appointment already with a customer, but you were talking to them and they said, hey, my neighbor told me about your Comfort Club plan. I would like to join that. How do I do that? you don't even need an initial appointment. You can just create a job, create an invoice, and follow the same process. So for that scenario, you would go to the customer page, create new job form. Maybe you want to set this as maintenance. I know this is a maintenance plan job, and you create new invoice along with the job. And now literally follow the same process. Go down, recommend a maintenance plan. If they are already on a maintenance plan, it will say recommend an additional maintenance plan. And then literally exactly the same what we just went over. So if you just follow that through, add the plan, now you have the invoice. Biggest difference here is we did not start with an appointment. We just started from the customer page and creating a job. So now Justin is signed up. My customer Justin, he's signed up. He's officially a Comfort Club member, and we need to do service for him. So another way that you can keep track of and manage your maintenance plan visits is by going to the maintenance plan appointment scheduling report. To do this, we will go to reporting. Original, and then under jobs, we have maintenance plan appointment scheduling right here. Let's go to that. And this is going to be your best friend for creating your maintenance plan visits. Now, this at first will include current and future maintenance plan statuses and current and next service windows, but probably the most used, or I guess the most common way to use this is who do I owe a service to, and how can I make sure we get my guys out there to do the job? To do this, I would recommend taking off future and take off next. What this is saying is this is showing me who has a current maintenance plan. It is not expired. And who are we within the current service window? So like today is January 16th. That would be any service window that is January to anything after January. So here are the customers that I owe a service to right now. And you can either use their information to call them individually and schedule their plan or visit, or select all and review and send. That will send a reminder that, hey, it's time to do your maintenance visit. Please contact us so we can schedule your appointment. Then when they reach out to you, you can even come back to this page, type in their name, they'll pull up, and you can do all of your scheduling for your maintenance plan visits right from this page without even having to go to any customer pages. To do this, where it says unscheduled or even missed, you will click that. And now we are scheduling. So this is the same exact schedule modal that you see on the schedule page. And you can either set a service request or schedule now. Let's say we're talking to the customer, go ahead and schedule that. Once that is scheduled, this will change to say scheduled. That will go on to your technician's appointments. They'll go out and do the service, mark that as complete. And now on here, it will show the appointment is complete. And also, if you reference it from the customer page, it will show as complete as well. Now, I do see we are getting towards the end here. I do have two more reports I would like to show, and then we'll get into our Q&A so we can dive into specific questions. The first report is the maintenance plan customers report. So while the maintenance plan appointment scheduling is great for the visits, we also need a way to track renewals. And to do this, we will go to reporting and maintenance plan customers report. Oh, click. So maintenance plan customers report will show you all of your maintenance plans in your system. It has quick access to see how many are expired, how many are current, how many are future dated. And from here, you will be able to see if they have scheduled services, start date, expiration date, and then right here, this is the column, status. So if they have a current plan, that means that they are within their contract. If they have an expired plan, which let's say I just want to look at everyone that's expired so I can renew them. And you will go to current, or sorry, get rid of current and see expired. And then if you want, so if you want to see who's expired, these are the people that need immediate attention. We need to reach out and get them on a new plan. But maybe you want to be preemptive. So we could add current, and then we want to see whose plan is expiring this month in January. And so now let's get rid of expired. So expiration date is here. And now we can see. And maybe you want to do this a couple months in advance to reach out to these customers and renew them. Now, there's no auto renewal message. And the only auto renewal that you would be able to set up in the system would be a recurring payment plan with the contract term as until canceled. Otherwise, you will need to reach out to customers and renew them. And you just renew them the same way you did when you first signed them up. But this is a great place to track those renewals. Last thing we're going to look at before we get to our Q&A is if you do set customers up on a recurring payment plan, you want to track that. You want to make sure you can see that those payments are actually going through. As nice as it is for the recurring payment to go through, you don't want to set it and forget it. So to do this, we will go to Payment Options, Payments, Recurring Payment. This will show you any overdue payments that you have. These are, some type of payment failure has happened and you'll want to reach out to the customer. Maybe their credit card expired and they need to add their new one. Whatever it is, you can see those overdue. And then you also have existing plans and upcoming payments. So this is just a home base for you to check on your recurring payment plans. In theory, the payments go through, it's on auto renewal, you're good to go. You don't actually need to do anything. However, if something does happen, you will want to check that here. Sharon asks, will they get a receipt saying that a payment was declined? So, I don't know the answer to that question. Let's look at that together. I'm going to search and see. So, yeah, so if the payment doesn't go through, it's on an auto. So when the payment does go through, uh, you have the option to choose whether or not they receive a receipt. But if it doesn't go through, I don't know what happens. So we'll look at that together as well and see if I can find the answer for you. Okay, so let me check my notes. We are good. We're going to switch to our Q&A now. We already have some questions on the board here. Again, we did not do today was a little bit of a hybrid. So we compacted a lot of information into one. So I am cool to extend the Q&A time just to make sure everyone's questions are answered. But before we do that, before we end the official presentation, let me show you where you can find your webinar replay. So if you do want to watch this back along with all of our other webinar recordings, you will do that from the Help Center down below here, little smiley face guy. And then go to video courses and webinars. And you can sign up for future webinars here. You can scroll down and right here, past webinars. And today's topic, you will be able to see here once I update that. If you do have any questions at all, you can reach out to customer support by clicking contact support right from here and get assistance there. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We're going to go to our Q&A now, but I just want to let you know that this has concluded our presentation for maintenance plans.